So just a few minutes ago, we saw what was probably the end of some really good content on Twitch. Um, if you don't know what OnlyFangs is a hardcore World of Warcraft guild started by Soda Poppin', but it's had a lot of content creators create characters and progress through the server. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. It's been really good content for a while. Starting off, they did I'm going to call it a race war, even though I don't know if they like that term. But you started the game picking one of the 4 races in the game, and that was kind of your club, even though they were all like leveling together. They had like weekly events and competitions for like the orcs versus Tauren kind of stuff, and it was super fun. It was really good. And it was neat to see some players that have been playing World of Warcraft for a really long time, like myself, really like excel and kind of show their game knowledge. But it was also really fun to see a lot of content creators that had never ever played World of Warcraft get into the game for the first time, make a character, kind of explore and level, and it's been really cool. I've really enjoyed the content. But as they got max level, they started gearing the characters and they started doing raids. Which raids are typically supposed to be like huge, like 40-man groups going in and killing bosses, and they're supposed to be really difficult content. And on a hardcore server, meaning if your character dies, they are permanently dead, you have to start over. It's a pretty dangerous thing to do. But they did get through the first raid. They did, obviously lose some characters through the various weekly wipes, but they mostly made through it, which is I would say they were pretty successful on. But the second raid, Blackwing Lair, just came out, and it's been a little problematic. They've gotten through with some close calls, but they've gotten through pretty well. But yesterday during raid, they noticed a few problems where characters in the raid were DCing and they were hitting lag spikes, which happens in online games. But for a hardcore game, it's really dangerous because you could DC for a minute, come back and your character's dead, and you're just out of luck. And then what kind of made it worse is this happened during polls. It wasn't just randomly happening. It seemed like as they would pull a boss or like a big group, lag spikes would happen, which looks like an actual like denial of service attack on the servers with someone or some group intentionally trying to get these characters killed. Essentially griefing. And that kind of just sucks, right? Because these players have been like learning the game and working really hard for a while just to have your character die because you like of a server attack. Like it's not good content, but it also like feels really bad for the viewers, and I'm sure it feels way worse for the players that are risking so much time. But yesterday it got so bad that they decided to call the raid because they were worried about these attacks and going any further. Today, they grouped up, they started the game. They had one poll that was kind of iffy, like I think 2 people DC'd, but not too bad, so they continued. And unfortunately, when they got to their first boss, it was a painful experience to watch. As the attacks happened, this was the biggest attack that had happened. And in the previous ones, 1 or 2 characters would DC, a few characters would lag out, but it was doable. But with this, it was almost 1 at a time a player would drop from the raid during the boss fight. And if you pull the boss and you lose a DPS, the boss dies slower, but you're okay. You lose another DPS and it sucks, but you keep going. You lose a healer, well, that's really bad, but you can still do it. And then one of your tanks DCs. And it was almost 1 at a time. Everybody in the raid starts shouting that they've DC'd or they're lagging out. And it becomes pretty hopeless as eventually they figure out that the entire raid has just DC'd. There is nobody to defend their characters, they're still in the game, and the boss is eventually going to kill the tank and start running around killing everyone else. And unfortunately, that is exactly what happened. The DDoS attack was so severe that nearly every person in the raid lost their character. A few characters that managed to stay in long enough hearthed out. A few players were able to log back in and escape, but nearly every character died. And So the future is kind of uncertain.
Clearly, well, this sucks. So we're not able to raid. We're clearly being targeted, which sucks. I don't know what this means on the horizon if we're not able to play. We tried yesterday. We canceled it. We tried today. Immediately got, fucked on the first boss pull. So long term, guys, I don't know what this means. I'll talk to people here and there and see if there's like a long term fix here and there. But
how long do I wait?
Bro, didn't Microsoft buy this company?
No, just do not.
Blizzard typically doesn't roll back character deaths for DCs, even though this was obviously a targeted attack and not some little blip on the server. It looks like Blizzard probably isn't going to roll them back, which means it is a full raid wipe. And nothing's certain. That's the unfortunate thing. This just happened a few minutes ago. I was watching Life Through Soda Pop on stream, and this kind of sucks. And you could kind of feel the energy where everybody streaming isn't trying to get super upset because they're not wanting to feed the ego of whoever's doing this attack. But like some of the players said, it would be one thing for their characters to die in combat trying to progress through the server, but it just really sucks to lose your character through a DDoS attack like that. Because it's not like you messed up a mechanic. It's not like you got overwhelmed because you weren't geared enough. Yeah, the situation sucks. And Soda's said that he's not sure what's going to happen. He'll talk to some people at Blizzard. But this might be the end of OnlyFangs, which this has been a really fun journey as a viewer to watch the group grow. And yeah, I hope that, personally speaking now, I hope this isn't the end. I understand, like, this is bad. DDoS attacks could happen in any game if they remade or whatever. But it just sucks a little bit more because it's a hardcore server. And I think a lot of the people in the guild have, like, really, like, met a lot of new friends and they've really, like, bonded together. So I'm hoping they keep doing stuff. Personally, if they got together and wanted to do, like, Season of Discovery, I think that'd be fun. Or go to a different game. Like, I've said for years that I wanted to get into, like, Final Fantasy XI. If they decided to roll up on a different MMO and make characters and learn the game and explore and do all that again, I think that would still be really fun, too. I personally hope they don't just give up, but yeah, DDoS on a hardcore server, the situation just sucks. But that's about it. If you were watching it live, give me your thoughts. It's just general despair right now. So, but yeah, otherwise, thanks for watching. Do the YouTube stuff, and I'll see you later. Bye.